Welcome to the Magical Mommy Monday podcast. We really appreciate you listening. We'll be talking about everyday mom life with some pixie dust from Disney thrown in from time to time. This is a judgment-free zone. We know everyone parents differently, and we're just two moms doing our best as we figure out this whole parenting thing. So now, let's get this party started with today's episode. Angela was just doing some fantastic video game singing. Mario Brother singing.
I mean, okay. I feel if I replicate it again, it's just not.
I don't know if it'll be the same.
It's not.
I know. We kind of hated that you couldn't hear us at that point. I was like,
I know. I'm sad.
But I will give a shout out to Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Great. Just like revolutionary. Anyway, Jocelyn, I was going over your website and it brings me joy in the sense that it is so organized. Oh, it makes me so happy.
To be honest, I haven't touched it in 3 weeks or 4 weeks now. I've not done well.
You mean since the apocalypse happened? I mean, isn't that when time stood still?
I wonder why.
We went to Disney World and I should have updated it after that, but I just haven't since then because literally it started right after we got back.
Yeah, you came home.
Kind of while we were there, but I wish somebody would have sent me a message like, Jocelyn, while you're at Disney World, take some toilet paper home with you.
Yeah, that would have been helpful.
That did blindside us. We got home and I'm like, I don't get it. What's happening with the toilet paper? I was gone 5 days.
Yeah. And then you're like, that's not happening. I'll just go get some. Wait, what? All the shelves are empty.
This
all the
make
stores.
Sense.
Yeah.
No, it really doesn't.
I would not beat yourself up about it. It's pretty much been Groundhog Day every single day since that happened. Anyway, for those of you wondering who we are talking to, we are talking, well, you know what, Jen, I'm going to let you do the introduction today because I always do it. Let's just change it.
I mean, people keep putting Justin over at the Morning Monorail. For those of you, we're already tangenting. We're not even introducing our guest yet. I'm already tangenting.
I know. We already ruined it.
For those of you who don't know, though, Dillo's Diz and the Morning Monorail have teamed up for a weekly live show on Tuesday nights, which Jocelyn, you'll hear about her in a second, called into last night. But the last 2 weeks, Justin's like, Jen, you close it out. I'm like, well, I close it out. I wasn't ready to close it out and give all the handles and the plugs, whatever. But sure, I'll start it tonight. So I'm very excited for our guest. And without her, this podcast probably wouldn't even exist because Angela and I probably wouldn't have met in person yet. And never been on the Haunted Mansion and never had a chat about a podcast. So really, it's all because of Jocelyn. And Jocelyn, if you don't know, is at Disney Gratitude 1 on Twitter. Drop the E, add a 1. And she is what is the word? I need a good word, and I don't know that I'll find one.
Fairy godmother of the Disney community?
Yes. Let's do that. She is like Queen Kindness. She is trying to do good and spread kindness and make people happy and smile and just always doing it. And then she puts together this epic meetup in January to bring everyone together in person and organize it and did so many little touches. And it was just amazing. Anyway.
I'm so glad I had you do this.
I could just keep talking about her. She's also a Disney travel agent. She's a mom. She's a wife. She does it all. Our guest today, Jocelyn. Welcome, Jocelyn.
Yay. Hi, ladies. Jocelyn, I have so many questions for you.
Oh, geez. I don't know if I studied. Hold on.
If you know about yourself, then you'll be able to.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Well, really, it's because I know who you are. I know who you are through Twitter. I've obviously met you, but I don't know a ton about you. I know who you are through Jen, but you and I have not really sat down and had a conversation like this. So I really want to do that today and just kind of find out how you got your start in the Disney community, your love for Disney, what kind of inspired you to start this random acts of Disney kindness. And I want to know how you go to Disney so much and be able to bring your daughter, because that is amazing.
Yes.
So
Okay. Well, that was a lot. So.
I told you.
Where would you like to start, Jocelyn?
Let's start.
It's much earlier here than it is there, so I'll be fine, but you ladies might be asleep by the time I'm done.
Hey, I'm in Minnesota, so it's 7:30 here.
Okay, and it's early for me. I don't start podcasting until like 11 o'clock normally anyway.
It's true. I told Brian that last night. I just have to tell you, I was like, I don't know what to do with myself. They want me to get on a podcast at a decent hour my time. Like, what? I mean, or decent hour your time. It's always a decent hour my time. But
yeah. Anyway. Oh my God. Yeah. And last night you were talking to us at what, 9:30 to 10:30-ish. And so, then we did Theme Park Thursday after that, which normally we do it before. So I was like,
yeah.
What did you and Frank even talk about that?
I couldn't tell you. I could not tell you what we talked about. So we'll see what happens.
So we'll find out.
Well, you were kind of talked out because we had already talked for like an hour. So I don't even know how you did that.
Me neither.
Oh my God. All right. Before we get started, if you have not listened to our last episode where Jen and I talked about everything COVID-19, how we're doing, how we're homeschooling our kids, and some, pointers if you're, a stay-at-home parent for the first time, if you've never taught a preschooler or kindergartner, we kind of give you our tips and tricks. Feel free to download that or listen to it after this one. And I just wanted to get that plug out. And now it's all about you, Jocelyn. So first, let's start out with where did your love for Disney begin?
I mean, as a child, we went a lot. It was a family vacation. We usually went like once a year during our school break. Usually we would either go the week of Christmas or the week of New Year's. So we did that for a long time. And so I'd say that's probably where it started. But then I'm trying to think. So then I joined the military, left home, was stationed at a couple different duty stations. And so then I met my husband at the second one. And we were married for a few years and had our daughter, McKenzie. And so we decided that we had to start taking her to Disney World because my husband also went when he was a child a few times with his family. So we decided we would take her. We took her the first time when she was 1.5. And then we've kind of been going ever since.
Wow. That's pretty amazing.
And I think
10 now. Yes.
Mackenzie's 10. She's she's technically 10 3/4. Oh. We are fast approaching 11 and it's very sad.
Yeah.
Very sad. But
what did you do in the military?
I kind of tracked and helped out the air crew, and I always worked in fighter squadrons. So, my first duty station was F-16s, and my second was F-15E models out of Seymour Johnson Air Force Base in North Carolina.
So you did that in the military. You met your husband. What happened after you two got out of the military? Did either of you stay?
Yeah, so he ended up he retired. So he retired in 2010-ish, 10-ish, 2000. No, it was 2012, I think. Sorry, I was way off there. And then Colorado is home for him. So we moved back here, and that's that part.
Okay. And then
we got farther away from Disney World, though, so we have to fly instead of drive. So that is sad. Then I went into the legal field, and that's still what I do today. So I'm a paralegal.
Okay.
I have swapped the kind of law that I do work for, but that's still across the board what I've done since I've gotten out of the military and went to school and blah, blah, blah. So
you're still a paralegal now. And then you're kind of like your side gig would be a Disney travel planner. Yes.
Yeah. And to be honest, I really haven't been doing it a lot. So my plan originally when I started that was I knew that my job I was at was probably going to be ending at some point. And it happened a little quicker than I anticipated it ending, but I did know it was coming, in fairness. Mm-hmm. So I tried to set the travel agency up to be ready to go for when that ended. So I would maybe be able to spend more time at home, mm-hmm. And stuff with McKenzie. But it just didn't, it all happened very quickly. And so then I got a new job, which I love dearly, very, very dearly. But it is a step up in what I've been doing. And I had a little learning curve happening there. Mm-hmm. So I have not had time to do, and I do have to drive downtown It's a terrible commute. So, so I would say like my day now is much longer than it used to be. And so I just haven't been able to get back into it yet. I don't know that I will with this job, maybe at some point, but yeah. So unfortunately that has taken a back seat to everything else. I'm trying to keep everything else afloat, but that is the one thing that kind of,
but I think you keep your skills sharp because you plan amazing trips for your family. So maybe, I don't know if Angela goes back this far. When you first came to Twitter, basically, right? And it was for the, what was the exact title of that trip where Vacation Your Way, where you had everyone.
Yeah, so
okay. Maybe talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. So this is kind of how it worked. So I decided one day that I was going to start a Disney Twitter account. And then saw that everybody kind of had something, like you and Frank had the podcast and other people had YouTube and people had blogs. And I was like, well, I'm not going to do YouTube. Oops. Which by the way is not my fault. I still blame that one on McKenzie. But like I was like, I don't want to do that, but I do love to write. Obviously, that's what I do for work a lot. So I was like, okay, I think I can do this. So I got the blog set up, and then a few months after getting the blog set up, I decided that we were going to do this trip and let the entire general public vote for everything we did. Mm-hmm. Literally.
That is
the only thing they didn't decide was like the dates. And I'm not even kidding. Like they decided where we stayed, where we ate, the rides we rode. I mean, we rode other rides because you got to fill the day. But I mean, everything that everybody voted for, we did every single darn thing.
Yep.
This is, I'm gonna be a little more than PG and say that's really ballsy because I mean, like, how do you factor that in budget wise and know that people aren't going to do you dirty? Like tell me about
just
this.
Hang out in Club Cool and drink Beverly all day.
The trolls.
So I will say, there you go. Yeah. I will say we did at least throw out like, here are all the rides, pick the top 10. Here are the hotels. They were all listed in fairness. And they did choose deluxes, which will go to you asking me how we go. So often we do get a military discount because my husband did retire from the Air Force. Mm-hmm. So we do have that benefit that I would say most don't have. So anyways, that helps us a little bit with the discounts. And we don't really vacation anywhere else, right? So, I mean, it's kind of like where we put our vacation money at.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, they didn't do us dirty though. They did very well. And I did have to coax my husband and daughter into that because the first thing my husband was like, well, wait a second. Like, what if they choose things that we really don't want to do?
Right.
And I was like, okay, well, we'll deal with it when we get there. Let's just see. Let's have faith, right? Yeah. Let's have faith that they love Disney the way we love Disney and that this is all going to work out. And it really did. We stayed at Animal Kingdom Lodge for 3 nights. We stayed at the Poly for 3 nights. So really, is that terrible? No. It was amazing. And like we did things like a dessert party. We did the H2O glow nights at the water park. So, I mean, we did really cool things that maybe we wouldn't have done without it. So that was the whole point of it too. Just like the bucket list is this year, much larger, on a much larger scale. I went very, very large this year.
Mm-hmm. So let's go to that. Let's go to, when did you kind of expand it from a Twitter account to a blog to your random acts of Disney kindness and this ultimate Disney World bucket list?
Yeah. So the Twitter account happened, and very quickly, well, probably within 3 months, I would say, I think it was, I started the blog, and then did the, Disney World Your Way, where everybody voted, and that kind of got some traction. So I was like, okay, let's just keep it going. And I'm always trying to find ways to involve everybody, right? It's neat for us to share it, but I'd like to share things that sometimes are out of the box a little bit or keep people interested. So it's challenging, right? There's a lot of us doing that. So,
right.
And so anyway, so we did that. And then, I don't think we did anything too crazy in between. And then for my birthday 2 years ago, that was what I asked for my birthday, was to be able to start Random Acts of Disney Kindness instead of any gift or anything. I just wanted to be able to do that.
But how did that even pop in your head?
Because she's a fairy godmother.
So like I have always wanted to do something to help other people. And so like when I go to Starbucks, I buy the coffee for the person behind me. Like I just have always done that. So okay, not always, but I do it frequently. I really did want to dress up as This Is Incredible and like go into Starbucks and buy people's coffee, but my family wouldn't let me do it.
That's
so
amazing.
That
they
may
need
happen
to let
someday,
you do
but
that.
I have to talk. Yeah, like I'm gonna figure it out. I have the genie costume already. I could do that, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. Someday that may happen.
When we're allowed to be around people again.
Yeah, not right now, but
next year.
Yeah,
it's a whole different kind of mask. Anyway, so I had already done that, and my ultimate goal, and I really hope I can do this someday, is to be able to get to the point where we can send a family a year to Disney World that wouldn't normally be able to go. So that's my ultimate goal, and kind of how I got I'm like, well, I got to build up to it. And so I decided that I would kick in the Random Acts of Disney Kindness as just a way to start and do something for everybody. And then hopefully someday that would be like my ultimate Random Acts of Disney Kindness.
Now, is that kind of part of I'm looking at your site right now. Is that kind of part of your fundraising page as well?
Well, so for right now, because we aren't in a position to be able to necessarily do that as our family. So right this second, but so right now that's kind of my way to pay it forward in that regard, because that's what those charities all do. Right. So that's why I'm fundraising for those, two of those at least, is to help those families in any way we can to get them there, until we can do the whole thing.
And just so you know, the three charities or foundations that she's supporting right now is the Make-A-Wish Foundation, Give Kids the World, and Chrissy O's Music Foundation. So you can head to Jocelyn's website. We will have the link in the show notes if you want to support either of those.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
And your TeePublic store. All the funds go there as well, right?
Right, exactly. Okay. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So you set up the store and you set up your own items, but though that's all just for charity.
Exactly. So they're all, I tried to theme them all after kindness type, themes. So, and then, so all the proceeds we get go straight to charity.
Oh, that's so awesome, Jocelyn. Now, how does your daughter's school do with taking her out for these trips? Because I'd have my kid get a special permission slip signed, and it felt like an ordeal, but really it was like me filling out a form, but still.
Yeah. So we have been pretty lucky that she's had really good teachers that, and when you get the good teacher, it's great because you can always tell, they'll be like, well, it's educational what you guys are doing, at least at some point. So, they at least understand that. It's like she could tell we were talking about her. So hang on.
Hi, I can hear you. I heard my name.
But we also try to always tie it into other days she has off. So for example, this trip we took at the beginning of March, she was off of the 3 school days, for example. So she literally only missed 1 day.
Okay.
When we went in January, I think she missed 2 days, but she hadn't missed any on the front end of the school year. So, yes, but not for. But so we just try to time it right. And then the longest trip we take is every year for her birthday, which is in June. So she doesn't miss school for that one. So yeah, it just depends. And then the other trips we have planned, hopefully, for the rest of this bucket list year is Labor Day. So we're off a day that that weekend, and then Thanksgiving, which we're off. She's off 3 days that weekend.
Gosh.
So
What
we're just trying to time it. Yeah.
Is that 5 or 6 trips this year?
We have 5 planned.
Oh, that's
We've
beautiful.
already done 2.
And tell Angela how many resorts that will come out to that you will be staying in.
I think we're at like 21.
Yeah.
You're going to be exhausted from moving that many times.
Well, we did it. So January, we were there 4 nights. Sorry, I was just doing the math. Yeah, 4 nights, and we moved all 4 nights.
Yeah.
When we went in March, because we were with Brian's mom, who's celebrating her 80th birthday, we did not move.
Yeah.
See,
but when we go in June for like 8 to 9 nights, I'm just trying to figure it out. We are moving all but 2 nights, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, I just know I had to move a few times when I worked with touring plans, and it's just exhausting because you're like, okay, we're out late this night, but I have to get my stuff ready. But the nice thing, if you're listening and you're wondering how to, move resorts, is you can just bring your stuff to Bell Services, and then they'll move your stuff for you. So you don't have to worry about bringing it with you. You can just go to the parks, and it will just be there for you at the end of the day at the new resort. So, what has been your favorite so far? Where do you like to stay the best?
As a collective, as a family, we would choose the Poly.
Yeah.
I would choose the Grand. And,
Go Poly.
And I would say we really we just stayed at the Caribbean beach, and it was very nice.
Yeah. It's just we didn't get to walk around a lot besides where our area is.
I still haven't stayed at Caribbean Beach or Coronado, and those are 2 that I really want to try out. Mm-hmm. I stayed 1 night at the Grand Floridian, and I actually like the Poly better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Go Angela.
Great choice.
I truly love them both dearly. I will say, for me, what makes the difference is the service at Grand Floridian, even when you're not staying there, is amazing.
Yeah.
So
Grand would be my second choice.
Yeah. All right. Go on the monorail tour,
Yeah.
Yeah. Do it.
For me,
we will be this year.
Yeah, no kidding. It's like the ultimate resort tour.
June, so,
Oh,
that's amazing.
That sounds like such a dream, and to be able to do that, to be able to make that Walt Disney World bucket list, but then actually do it is, like I said, something that people only dream of. So I'm really happy that you get to do that. And I do think that a bit of it is karma for being such a good person and doing these random acts of Disney kindness. So you definitely deserve that and have that coming to you for sure.
Can I go backwards in time a bit from the current apocalypse to happier days when you decided to do a Diz Twitter meetup in Disney, but you didn't just go, hey, I'll be there at the end of January. If other people are around, maybe we'll all grab a drink or something. No, you did it Jocelyn style. And you had people like Frank and myself going, maybe, no, maybe, probably not. Oh, maybe. And officially, yes, 2 weeks before. So there were a lot of different factors playing into this, and you had a good response from people, and you had a really good group. What made you want to do that, and how did you get everything so coordinated?
Oh my gosh, yeah. She's a travel agent.
True. Oh my God. We were calling her camp counselor because she just had everything planned
Mary
out.
Poppins, because her bag was huge.
Yes.
Everything in it.
I am trying to find a Mary Poppins bag now, though, for the next one.
Oh my God, so that would be amazing.
That may be in the works. There is one I have found on Etsy that is not outrageously expensive, because the real deal ones are. But we'll see what I can do about a Mary Poppins bag.
Yeah.
You inspired me to get
That
one.
would be amazing.
I would love it.
Yeah, so would I. So I think all of us on Twitter that have kind of been pretty tight since the beginning. There's been a few of us that have been friends for a long time now, which is crazy to think about. I think, you know, we always would say like, oh, we need to get together. But I just think we were all saying like, oh, let's meet up someday and let's try to coordinate it. And so finally I was just like, okay, let's do it. You know, let's see if we can get everybody on board. And so we originally had planned like for pretty far out. Like I think we were a solid year when we said maybe November of 2019. And then Star Wars Galaxy's Edge happened. And we were like, okay, no, we're going to all want to go do that. So now we need to push it because originally it wasn't going to be open by then. And so we pushed it to the January where it stayed. But yeah, it was like by the time we started planning it to the time it had, it was probably about 2 years, I think.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe a year and a half. Yeah, maybe a year and a half.
Yeah.
So.
I would be so impatient. Like that's so long. Like I would be so antsy. Just want to be there.
I know.
Yeah. And I think we all kind of did that a little bit. Just like, oh my gosh, I feel like I've been playing this forever. But I think with that many people, I think we had to give everybody a chance to like be able to put it on their calendar and find a time that everybody could do it. So that was our only hope. I think now if we can continue to try to stay around that time each year, I'm hoping that it becomes an annual, like everybody kind of knows to have that on their calendar now. And we can just know it's coming and it won't be quite as crazy.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. And you had amazing details. You had name tags for everyone. You had snacks.
Oh,
and extra snacks.
Like Mickey goldfish and fruit snacks, which I was the first, I think Justin was the first to eat one thing and I was the first to eat the other. But we were not shy.
Justin ate goldfish and dropped them all over the ground.
I was going to say, and then he dropped them. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. And then because my birthday, which I don't like to celebrate, was a couple of days after, Jocelyn brings birthday hats and a card.
And the blower thingies.
I know. I never know what those things are called, though.
We're all doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. And we were in front of the photo pass photographer and she took these out. She's like, okay, wait. And we all had a hat and the little blower things. And Jen was the star of the picture. And it was a beautiful birthday photo shoot for Jen.
I mean, it was. And I was like, oh my God, at the same time, because I don't really enjoy being front and center, but I really appreciate it. And it was amazing. And amazing that everyone was willing to wear the hat and do it all.
I don't know how much Jocelyn was giving them a choice.
It was more like you're putting these on because I'm the cruise director. And
I mean, whatever.
When I hand this to you, I'm going to need you to put it on.
I'm doing it with a smile, but I'm doing it with the mom smile. Like, let's do this. We're taking a picture now for the Christmas card. Right Everyone now. Do it.
Right now.
There were some pictures that came out afterwards that kind of made me look really bossy. I was like, ooh, I don't know about these.
But you know what? Someone has to be.
Someone has to do it. We're a bunch of misfits in the Diz Twitter community. I mean, come on.
There's also
everybody
a picture.
Was champs. Everybody was champs.
Some of those pictures are just hilarious. Like there's just the one of Frank, Jen, and I, where we're all looking at someone on Jungle Cruise, and we look so annoyed. And I don't know who it was. I think it was maybe people getting into the boat or something. I don't know what it was.
We were probably like, who are these people? They are not in our group. I am serious. In every picture, you have the Jungle Cruise one. You have Angela and I's on the Haunted Mansion, just deep in convo. And then on Pirates in the back, like everyone's smiling because they know where it is. And I missed
I never know where it is.
And I'm just like sitting serious again. I'm like, why am I so serious? I'm at Disney World. I was so happy that
Didn't you work at Disney, Jen? You should know
these. I know. I should know the exact moment for everything.
I know, but the photo wasn't there, was it? That's a new addition.
Oh, yeah. Maybe.
That's true. In fairness.
I like it.
And actually,
Thanks,
I think she was a Haunted Mansion. So, yep, I got you. Well, I owe you from last night. I kind of went the opposite of you, which does not happen often, but well, it does. Okay. I guess it does a little bit if you bring up wishes and then
right.
But we won't keep track of that stuff.
Let's not keep tally, Jocelyn.
But I do owe you. I do owe you. So there you go.
Question for you, Jocelyn. With this Disney World list, I assume it's just for 2020 from reading your blog.
That was like 2020.
Okay. I
was
was going
to be able to go all of 2020, do the trips that we had planned. I kind of had laid out how it was going to, like I have a crazy spreadsheet, like budget. Well, what budget? Let's be honest. There is no budget. There is.
I don't know her.
Right. Yeah.
There is a budget. I'm just kidding. But so anyways, I have to like kind of track it because there's a lot, and to try to piece together like what's going to happen during this one to keep us on budget and this, you know what I mean? So it's just, I've had to really lay it all out, kind of decide how many days we needed on top of how many days we have to do all of it. And that kind of thing. So it's been a bit of a puzzle, but I think minus the craziness we're living in right now, we would make it if our trips go the way they're supposed to. But obviously we can't control, especially the next one, right? We're going to be very close.
Yeah.
That was my question is, has any of this COVID-19 stuff affected your travels so far?
Not yet. I mean, we literally went the 4th through the 8th of March. And I would say that's about as close as we could have come to that.
Oh my gosh. Like just under the wire.
Like literally. And I wouldn't have wanted to go after that. I mean, Brian's mom is 80. Like I would have never, like even as it was after the fact, looking back, I was like, you know, we're very thankful that it all worked out. And to be honest, the trip was absolutely amazing. So
oh my God, I love all those pictures.
Yeah, she still talks about it, and like she sent us these amazing thank you cards afterwards. And you know, I've tried my very hardest to make it like super duper special, but on top of me, those cast members just ate her up. So I mean, they loved that lady. Yeah, they did. Everyone went to be like, oh, here's a free ice cream and here's a free, you know, and she just thought it was the greatest thing in the world. So
she like thinks that's how Disney is now.
But you know what? For her, it might always be.
I know.
That's true.
She's awesome and she just radiates awesomeness. So, I mean, I think the cast members can see that just as much as the birthday pin. So it's that makes it extra special for me.
Oh, that is so sweet. And how is all of this coronavirus stuff treating you and your family right now? Good. Brian still goes to work with a very few people that are in the building with him. So that's been good. So he's at least getting out where the rest of us are not. Yeah. And then I have like my mom lives with us and then my sister, and then her foster daughter is here from college right now. So we are like, we got some people in the house. It's cozy. Yeah.
We're doing good. And, you know, nobody's tried to beat anybody up yet over being too crazy. So I think we're doing good.
That's awesome.
We did score toilet paper last weekend.
Oh,
so
good.
I'm just saying it was like my biggest victory to date in life.
Yeah. Stocked up. We're good.
Yes, exactly. Is Mackenzie missing school and her friends or?
I think so. The very first week they were on spring break. So that helped because I think they were all kind of like, okay, this is supposed to be this way. And it wasn't weird. Mm-hmm. Last week was just an extra spring break because they weren't quite ready to go to online school yet. Mm-hmm. And then this week she's doing school and she's doing okay. She doesn't love homework and that's really what it is. It's a lot of homework with like no interaction really with the class minus Tuesday mornings. And so I think it's definitely a change for sure. But she's doing okay.
Yeah. Yeah. We're all doing the best we can, I think. And there's those little adjustments that you just have to work through.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, you guys have much younger children, so your hands are way fuller than mine because I still work from home every day for 8 hours a day. So luckily Mackenzie can do, you know, most of that on her own. Mm-hmm. So that's been fine. And plus when she needs math help, Brian has to help her when she gets home.
Yeah. I am so glad my kids are no older because if they need math help past maybe like 3rd grade math, it's like, sorry, I have to go to dad.
Good for you that you're going to make it to 3rd grade.
And it's not necessarily the math is hard. I don't necessarily have the patience to do it these new ways they're doing.
Oh, the new ways? I can barely do the old ways.
There's a new way?
Well, it's all the
it's
Common
bad.
Core stuff.
It's so bad. Like it's number
colors
lines and squares, adding and subtracting the square like line thing. It is the most insane. I mean, it's way better for them. It is. They swear by it. I promise. They're telling me it's better for her, but we accidentally
That's what they're telling me.
We actually taught Mac how to add up and down in second grade, and the teacher was not a fan. She's like, no, this is not how we do it. I'm like, okay, well then you need to teach the parents how to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
We need a tutorial, lady.
Yeah. And I have seen some videos, especially in these few weeks, like, sorry, teachers, we're teaching math the old way, and like carry the one, and there's the answer.
Welcome to the 90s.
Yeah. Like we survived, right? I mean, and in the end, we're all using calculators anyway.
I know, right? Exactly.
I mean,
I'm not getting Mom of the Year for that, by the way.
And
actually, I would say now instead of calculators, because we don't have to do anything too crazy with her yet, she really just asks Alexa.
Oh,
yeah,
interesting.
One time I called home to check in, and Brian had me on speakerphone, and then all of a sudden I hear McKenzie go, Alexa, what's so and so plus so and so? And I was like, I'm sorry, did she just ask? And then
brilliant.
So it is what it is.
These kids are too smart for us now.
They know where to get all the answers. I couldn't even figure it out with books.
Yeah, we don't even have books anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all online.
Oh my goodness.
Technology.
I'm not ready for it.
But Jen and I were talking about, thank God we have technology during this, and it's not like chat rooms and AOL during all this. Like, we'd be so screwed when it comes to teaching our kids.
I know. And my mom said that the other day. She's like, can you imagine if you were in school? Like, what would they even send me work for you? I don't even know if they would have done that. Like, send packets of work home. She's like, I don't think we would have even gotten that, probably.
Well, I think that's all that we have time for today. Jocelyn, would you please leave all of your social media so people can follow you and follow your adventures on your website and all of the wonderful things that you do for the community?
Yes. So you can find me at Twitter at Disney Gratitude. Drop the E, add a 1. And then I don't even know anymore. Instagram is Disney Bucket List Family. And YouTube is also Disney Bucket List Family. I don't really do Facebook anymore. And then my website is www.disneydreamin without the G 411.com.
I am so happy that you are on our podcast and getting to hear more of your story and getting to know you better. This was so great. Thank you so much.
It was really great. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Jocelyn.
I hope that you all are surviving and doing well and taking care of yourself and staying healthy. We'll talk to you on the next episode. And you can find all of our social media in the show notes below.
Yes.
Good night, everyone. Take care.
Deuces. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Magical Mommy Monday podcast. We hope you enjoyed it. You can find us on Twitter at Magic Mom Monday and on Instagram at Magical Mommy Mondays. The music you heard on this podcast was written and produced by Matt Harvey. We'll see you next time.